Welcome to another edition of Grez. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Please do so. Give it a thumbs up to this video. Hit the notification bell. Let you know when I will be uploading. When my uploads are. And it is. Pardon. I find myself at St. John's Cemetery, located in Middle Village, Queens, and we're here to visit a famous grave. I'm not sure if pay our respects and her place in history. I'm not sure a lot of people remember. But she made history. And this is not a political channel, not a political statement, but whether you agree or you do not agree, history was made on January 20th with Kamala Harris being the vice president. But in 1984, there was a U.S. presidential election. The primary season was nearing its end, and Walter Mondale became the likely Democratic nominee. The idea of picking a woman as his vice president running mate was, gaining momentum. The National Organization for Women and the National Women's Political Caucus pushed this notion. They pushed it along, as did several top Democratic figures, such as Speaker Tip O'Neill. Women mentioned for the role included Geraldine Ferraro, who's the grave that we're visiting today, and Diane Feinstein, both of whom were on person listed. Mondale eventually did wind up selecting Ferraro to be his vice presidential candidate in July of 1984. She stated that she was absolutely thrilled. The Mondale campaign hoped that her selection would change a campaign in which he was well behind. In addition to attracting women, they hoped she would attract ethnic Democrats in the Northeast USA who abandoned their party for Reagan in 1980. Now, Mondale did wind up losing, but the fact that she was picked as a running mate, Geraldine Ferraro, back in that time, was unheard of. Her personality was described as blunt, feisty, spirited, and somewhat saucy. And that was also viewed as an asset. In turn, Mondale accepted a quote-unquote risk that came with her being inexperienced. As Ferraro was the first woman to run on a major party national ticket in the United States, and the first Italian American, her nomination was one of the most emotional moments of that gathering, with female delegates appearing joyous and proud at the historic occasion. In her acceptance speech, Ferraro said, quote, "The daughter of an immigrant from Italy has been chosen to run for vice president in the new land that my father came to love. Convention attendees were in tears during the speech, not just for the significance for women, but for all those who immigrated to America. The speech was listed as number 56 in American Rhetoric Top 100 Speeches of the 20th Century. Ferraro immediately gained large-scale media attention. At first, the media kind of, focused on the novelty as a woman, on her novelty as a woman and a poor family background, and their coverage was overwhelmingly favorable. Nevertheless, Ferraro, she faced many press questions about her inexperience, such as foreign policy, and responded by discussing her attention to foreign and national security issues in Congress. She faced the threshold of proving competence that other high-level female political figures have had to have faced, especially those who might be considered, commander-in-chief. The question always came up, are you tough enough? It was often directed to her. And just, this is the grave. Geraldine Ferraro. Zaccaro was her husband's name, was the name she was married. It says, beloved daughter, wife, mother, and grandmother, first woman to run for vice president on a national party ticket. Died in 2011. 75 years old. See the American flag. I think this goes with the tradition, as you can see here, that there were visitors. I think that's the tradition. I think that's exactly what it means, that someone visited. Right there. President Obama said upon her death that Geraldine will forever be remembered as a trailblazer who broke down barriers for women and Americans of all backgrounds and walks of life, and said that his own 2 daughters would grow up in a more equal country because of what Ferraro had done. Mondale called her a remarkable woman and a dear human being. She was a pioneer in our country for justice and women and a more open society. She broke a lot of modes, and it's a better country for what she did. George H.W. Bush at the time said, though we were one-time political opponents, I am happy to say Jerry and I became friends in time, a friendship marked by respect and affection. I admired Jerry in many ways, not the least of which was the dignified and principled manner she blazed new trails for women in politics.
My name is Geraldine Ferraro. I stand before you to proclaim tonight, America is the land where dreams can come true for all of us. As I stand before the American people and think of the honor this great convention has bestowed upon me, I recall the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who made America stronger by making America more free. He said, occasionally in life, there are moments which cannot be completely explained by words. Their meaning can only be articulated by the inaudible language of the heart. Tonight is such a moment for me. My heart is filled with pride. My fellow citizens, I proudly accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States. To run with a man who will be one of the great presidents of this century, Walter F. Mondale. Tonight, the daughter of a woman whose highest goal was a future for her children talks to our nation's oldest party about a future for us all. Tonight, the daughter of working Americans tells all Americans that the future is within our reach if we're willing to reach for it.